Has Trae Young just played his last game as an Atlanta Hawk? In this video, I will tell the future implications of the Atlanta Hawks in regards to Trae Young and what their decisions are going forward. Now, for many Atlanta Hawks fans, we all know that the Atlanta Hawks just lost to the Chicago Bulls last night for the play-in game, so that ultimately means that their season is officially over. From this point on, we're going to hear rumors, speculations of what is going on, especially in regards to their covenant all-star Trae Young. Now, in my opinion, I think changes are going to happen. Wholesale changes are going to happen. We've been at this point of mediocrity for the last couple years, and I think it's time to move on from players. Now, I'm not saying coaches yet, but GMs, I think it's time to just really switch a lot of things around. Now, when it comes to the decision of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, that is one of the biggest decisions that the Atlanta Hawks will have in their pretty much history. I think this decision will define this organization going forward for many years to come, because ultimately they cannot play together. I know they tried this experiment, but truly it does not work unless you give them big guards and big players around them, and which to the point that I don't think they have done. So I think it's not working out, and I think ultimately for the success of the team, they're going to have to get rid of one. Now, if you think it's Trae, leave a comment down below. If you think it should be DeJounte, leave a comment down below. Now, I will let you know, I personally think it will be the person who gives them the best return and the best trade offer is who they'll end up trading. I think they're open to trading both. And I think whoever they receive for one of those guys will ultimately be the best person, and they'll be the person that they trade. So I personally think Trae Young is going to command a little bit more. They're going to be desperate teams, desperate for a point guard, a very good all-star caliber point guard. I mean, last night he was basically hurt back off of a long game off, basically off of injury, and he still gave you 22 and 10, which is very good. And you could tell it was a little hurt, and it just wasn't 100%, but he still gave you 22 and 10. And I think his passing is what a lot of teams are going to covet. So I think he will ultimately bring the best trade package. And because of that, I think he will ultimately be the person who is traded. If DeJounte gives a better trade package, then I think they'll trade DeJounte. But I think DeJounte was the built-in succession plan for Trae Young, and that's why also they ultimately trade him. They want to see if it worked, and if it didn't work out, they have a point guard for the future who they say can play better defense than Trae, which he can, but I don't know. It just depends on what the direction of your team and who I think they should keep. But I think they're going to keep the best player, the player who gives them the most return. They're going to trade, and they're going to keep the other player. But it's really sad because Trae Young is a really good player, and it's going to be sad to see him or DeJounte go. But at this point, they have to make moves on one of those guys. Some other moves they need to make: evaluating on Onyeka Okongwu. Is he the center of the future? Obviously, Clint Capella. Is he going to stay around? There is the Andre Hunter. He just was a shell of himself last night. Is that what we're going to expect from him going forward? Play pretty good in games and then kind of dive out and not play pretty well. So he's going to be evaluated. I think Saddiq Bey is going to be evaluated. There's going to be a lot of evaluation going on, and I think we may see 5, 6, 7 new faces on the roster after this year, just because I think it's time to not blow it up, but to just make wholesale changes with the assets that you have. Now, if you like this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. If you want to see more videos like this, check this one out right here. And like always, peace.